I'm the Godless Engineer, and I critically analyze apologist claims to give you the best arguments and information so that you can stand up and use your voice. As you all know, we just had Easter, and if you're unaware as to what Easter is, that's when Jesus supposedly resurrected from the dead. Every year, about this time, you have several Christian channels that put out these proofs of the resurrection to make more people believe that Jesus actually resurrected from the dead. Capturing Christianity fell right into this, and Cameron had on both Gary Habermas and Mike Lacona to prove the resurrection of Jesus.
But right now I'm using 6, and I could do them real quickly. And the percentage of scholars who are going to agree to this are in the 90-something percentile. And when you say, well, how do you know that? I say because I counted. I counted the guys.
Well, if you guys didn't know, Gary Habermas's facts, these minimal facts, have actually been whittled down over time. Just a few years ago, it was 12 facts, and now he's down to 6?
I think there are at least 12 facts. At least 12. I mean, the vast majority of scholars are giving more than these, but there are at least 12 facts that critical scholars admit. Virtually every scholar will admit virtually every one of these.
The first thing that I want to cover is something that Mike Lacona says in this particular interview with Cameron. What Mike is going to go over is how certain we can be of anything in history, or really anything in science or any kind of critical examination of evidence that we have.
When it comes to proof, I agree with everything Gary said about the proof thing. And it's true that we could say the resurrection is not proven if we're defining proof as 100%. But I'd also be very quick to add that the same could be said about every ancient event. In fact, it could be said about every historical event, because you could always come up with some sort of an alternate explanation. So when we make decisions in life, we don't make decisions based on absolute certainty. We make it based on probability.
So I want to stop him right here and point out how he claims that any decision that we make even now in our current day is based on probability. The probability that our car will start, or the probability that our toothbrush won't kill us in our sleep. The reason why I'm highlighting this is that these guys use the exact same criteria for the resurrection as they do for proving that Jesus even existed in history. But they want to act like it's not based on probability, or that history is not done by assessing the highest probability of what happened. But right here, Mike Lacona is admitting that history and even our daily actions are based on probabilities. What's most likely to happen.
So you may go to the grocery store in a day or two to get some food that you need, to restock up on some food. You do so and you think that you're going to come out safe and not get the virus, the coronavirus, as a result. You do that because you think it's most probable that's going to happen. Or even when this is all over, you drive or you fly somewhere, you do so because based on the data that you have reasonable confidence, reasonable certainty that you're going to get there safely. And so you go. If we're waiting for 100% certainty before we go somewhere, we're going to spend the rest of our lives at home.
I agree. I'm not looking for 100% of anything whenever I examine the evidence for, just for example, the resurrection. Nobody should be looking for 100% in order to believe something or to believe something didn't happen. The one big flaw with doing history as a soft science is that we don't have anything to really separate from biases or opinions. All of this is very opinion-based. But as we'll see, they use bad methodology in order to come to their conclusions that Jesus resurrected. The next thing that I want to cover is where Mike Lacona lays out the historical method pretty well. The problem is, though, in both the case of resurrections and miracles, or the supernatural rather, he fails to apply this methodology with the same kind of rigor that he would apply it in other situations. Mike seems to think that just because he's declared his biases up front, that clears him for being totally biased in his conclusion, or in the way that he practices his methodology. So let's hear from Mike what the historical method is.